These individuals shared the knowledge that they had it within themselves as a common trait. They were ready to invest their time and energy in improving themselves because they knew they could be more than they were. It's truly amazing that you would accomplish if you had more skills. So let me share a few quick tales with you in hopes that we can learn something from them. The Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett, shared this story about surviving disinflation, and it left everyone speechless. In today's video, we'll be talking about two inspiring stories of two business owners that started with little money and grew large businesses that are still standing and winning even against their predecessors. I want to share with you the stories of two women who each sold their company to Berkshire Hathaway. For many millions of dollars, each of them began with $2,500, which, by coincidence, was their entire worldly possessions at the time. She also admitted that she felt foolish. She and her husband decided to move to Omaha in 1919 because she was unable to learn the language. When they arrived, she discovered a small community of Russian and Jews and immediately felt more at home. Then, as her eldest daughter left for school, Frances would return home and teach her mother the words she had learned that day. And this other woman, Rose Blumpkin, spent 20 years saving her money in order to bring her parents and siblings over $150 at a time. To fund it, she sold second-hand clothing. She had 4 children during this time, and 20 years later, in 1937, she had saved $2,500. She traveled to Chicago and purchased furniture since it was an option. This woman, who had never attended school even once in her life, had always dreamed of opening a furniture store. With just $2,500 and the drive, she built a company that she sold to Warren Buffett in 1983 for approximately $60 million. And that did $1.5 billion in business in 2017. This woman, Rose Blumpkin, worked for Warren Buffett until she was 103 years old. Currently, the 4th generation is engaged in that line of work. Buffett is not saying that she later retired and passed away the following year, but Mrs. B, with her $2,500, should serve as a lesson to all of Berkshire's managers about the dangers of premature retirement. Another interesting truth about her is that she was illiterate and entered the furniture industry without bringing anything special to the table in terms of furniture. However, she was determined to succeed and believed she could outwork anyone. She was aware of her concern for her clients. She built this amazing business while working at extremely low gross margins. And the Oracle of Omaha also saw another woman who did the same thing with $2,500. He decided to go straight to the source and get these people before someone else did, because he did pay her hundreds of millions of dollars for her business. Then Buffett shared about another small business person he went to buy another business from, who he turned him down, which to him was very wise. However, this man was born about 8 years before Buffett was in 1922. He was from the Midwest and his name was Jack. He enjoyed sports quite a bit but disliked school. Since the company he founded hires more college graduates each year than any other company in the United States, you can identify the man who founded it. This man was obviously destined for success but was unaware of it. Jack studied for a year in college before quitting. He didn't care all that much about school, and 1941 was the year he left. And he went to the Army Air Force recruiting station when the nation was under attack. Due to his hay fever, he offered to volunteer but was rejected. He then went to the Navy and offered to volunteer again and was accepted. He was placed on a carrier for aircraft. During World War II, he piloted small aircraft and earned 2 distinguished flying crosses from the Navy. After the war, he returned to the Midwest. He would be 23 or 24 years old by then. And what's interesting is that once he returned to the Midwest, he actually kind of switched between jobs for a brief or perhaps not so brief period of time. and at the age 35, after moving up in the sales organization, he eventually found work as a used car salesman at a Cadillac dealership in St. Louis, Missouri. When he asked his boss if he could join them in the car leasing business, the boss responded, "Well, if you'll cut your salary in half and you'll come up with $25,000 that he borrowed, then we can become partners in a car leasing company." He owned 7 cars in the car leasing industry at the age of 35. It moved fairly slowly. In fact, one thing he did was to allow the phone ring to 3 or 4 times whenever it rang to give the impression that he was very busy answering other calls, when in reality, the call was the only one he would receive that day. His first business venture was a success, but there is a lesson for all of us in that it wasn't really going anywhere. He made his decision with 17 cars at the age of 40. Hertz, Avis National, and other companies with hundreds to thousands of vehicles are his competitors, now that he has decided to enter the rental car market. He only owns 17 vehicles and they are all identical to theirs because he purchases them from General Motors or Florida Chrysler. He is unable to acquire airport locations because those businesses have already sold out. He was adamant that he would actually provide the client, but he can provide him with friendlier service than they've ever seen. So he founded a business and gave it the name USS Enterprise, the battleship he had flown from in the Pacific. However, his rental car business, which began with those 17 vehicles, was now valued higher when he passed away than Hertz, Avis, and all other rental car companies combined. The owner was Jack Taylor, and Buffett's close friend, Andy Taylor, who is the son, runs the company. His grandchild is currently employed by the company, making them most likely a 4th-generation alumnus. This American man did not discover artificial intelligence. Unlike Mrs. B, Rose Blumpkin, Taylor did nothing related to selling furniture. Any of us, including you, could have gone into those places of businesses, but he lived by the creed, which was essentially to delight his clients. Working with people and establishing a relationship with them was very important to him. He couldn't go out there and take care of every rental, but he learned how to project himself and his attitude toward his fellow men. To sum it all up, Warren Buffett is telling us that to have a successful business, it is not all about gaining a profit first. It is about building a relationship with your customer. Because people are not mainly buying your services or product with their money alone. They are buying you with their trust. Therefore, it is best to be like Mr. Jack Taylor, who aimed to satisfy his customers' needs and build his name. I hope you learned something from Warren Buffett, and if you do, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. This is your 3 Towers Investing channel. Thank you for watching and see you soon.